Hello, I am TurboGamer 1000 and this is vlog number 16 or 17, I have literally no idea. And I finally, after promising so long, got around to the markers. So, shall we start there? First of all, I'm going to go with the fastest one to get through, and that would be my something Psy watercolour brush pens. I put these in the markers because technically they are markers and watercolours, so they could have went in both, and since I've only just got them I thought I'd put them in the marker video. I have yet to test these, but I've looked up YouTube videos about them and I know they can be used on watercolour paper, so don't worry, there will be wrong about them coming soon, and then I can give a proper review. And moving on, we'll go on to these two. These were from Boys. These are just cheap, twin-headed markers with a chisel tip and a bullet tip, and I got them for large areas, and they're just cheap and they run out really easily, but they're for just large areas of black, so yeah, they're really not that useful because I tend to use other types of pens as well. I have a lot of brush pens, I could always use them. Next, I'll be going on with one of my Letraset Blender Pro markers. The reason why I got this one out on its own is because I got this one separate. There was meant to be a pack of 6, I'm certain, but instead I only got one, so I paid way too much for one blender. I got a new one with my set of Christmas Pro markers, so that doesn't matter to me very much. But I kind of ripped off. At least I got a blender though. Before we move on to the Spectrums, which are the ones I want to talk about the most, I'll be talking about my Pro markers. First of all, I got the Chibi Manga set from Christmas, and they have so many different colours I don't have, but I have yet to test any of them, so yeah, I don't really know, but I finally got that mid-tone purple I was lacking. I have a dark purple, a rich purple, a light purple, but no mid-tone purple. And I've also got quite a few other colours. I've even got an ice grey, which I never knew existed. It's only one ice grey, but hell, it's better than no ice greys. So they're my Pro markers, and they also got blenders in them. Next is my Letraset Pro Marker Skin Tones 1, which comes with a... Oh wait, I forgot to mention that. Before I start these ones, I better talk about the colours I've got here. I've got Ruby, which is R455, Walnut, which is O124, Emerald, which is G657, Mint Green, which is G637, Turquoise, which is C247, Denim Blue, which is C917, Orchid, which is V528, Mulberry, which is V865, Magenta, which is M865, Dusky Pink, which is O518, Ice Grey, which is IG2, and Cool Grey 1, which is CG1, which I've already got, but now I've got 2 of. Honestly, I think that's the only colour I've got 2 of, the Cool Grey. Next are my skin tones, my set number 1, which have Soft Peach, which is O138, Ivory, which is Y418, Satin, which is Y129, Almond, depends where you're from, O819, Putty, which is O618, and Coral, which is R937. I haven't used Coral yet. I don't think I have. No, my luck, I've used it on like tans. I did need to tan working on the, when I first did these, I didn't make her skin dark enough. She's from the desert, so she needs to have darker skin than that. So yeah, so that's my skin tones 1. They're all mixed up right now, so I'm just going to go in the order I've got them out. Next are my mid-tones, which are red, which is R666, the devil's red, R666. Cocoa, which is O535, did I got that right? Tulip Yellow, which is Y337, Grass, which is G457, China Blue, which is one of my favourites, which is B736, and Pink Carnation, which is M328. All of these colours are really good. Next are my skin tones 2, which are quite a bit darker than the last ones, except for the last 2. We have Cinnamon, which is O427, Tan, which is O528, Burnt Sienna, which is O324, Spice, which is O346, Blush, which is O729, and Dusky Pink, which is O518. Next are my pastel tones. The reason why I got the Pro markers is because I wanted to, though I could have done it with my Spectrums, I wanted a cheaper brand of markers for one, because it would take forever to replace the Spectrums. They are really amazing, but they are really expensive. So, I'll get to that in a minute, but these ones were cheaper, so I got these, and I wanted to test out less colours. So I only got a few types. These cost a fortune, by the way, but they didn't cost as much as the Spectrums. 200 quid for the Spectrums, about 80 quid for the Pro markers. I think I know which ones win. So I did get over 200 colours with the markers. Alright, so on to pastel tones. We've got Soft Peach again, I think there's two of them. Which is oh wait, no, it was Dusky Pink one. No, it was Soft Peach. I think I got Dusky Pink and Soft Peach. Twice. Alright, so I've got Soft Peach, which is 0138. Buttercup, which is Y417. Meadow Green, which is 0339. Cool Aqua, which is C429. Lavender, which is V518. There you go, that's the lightest I've got. I thought I didn't have Orchid and I don't. Brilliant. Hold on. That'll do, yeah. And Pale Pink, which is R519. Sorry, my throat's all over the place right now. Next are my rich tones. Seriously, how did I put these in order anyway? I've got Cardinal Red, which is R244. I think that's a cool red, if I'm honest. Moss, which is Y334. Marine, which is C446. Prussian Blue, I think it's just Prussian, which is V464. Plum, which is V735, and Maroon, which is M544. You can also buy these colours separate, which is another reason I got these, because the Spectrums you could only get all together. Again, we'll talk more about that when I get to it. We've got, on my muted tones, we've got Burgundy, which is R424. Ginger, which is 0136. Olive Green, which is Y724. Petrol Blue, which is another one of my favourites, which is C824. Slate, which is V715. For some reason, Slate came out more purple. The slate coloured pencil I have is not purple. Different colours, different pencils. Pencils are different markers, I assume. Dusky Rose, which is R327. I thought Dusky Pink and Dusky Rose were the same for a while. It was quite funny. Next are my Electroset Pro markers, Vibrant Tones. I got the neons as well, which I don't usually use, but, well, they could be important. Really, they're really good. We've got Poppy, which is R565. Mandarin, which is 0277. Yellow, which is Y657. Bright Green, which is G267. Cyan, which is C847. And Cerise, which is M647. I realised the problem. My character, Mizuki, doesn't have cyan blue hair. The cyan blue hair is not that colour in my character. Turns out she's got turquoise hair, so every time I write a story now, her hair is going to be turquoise. I thought it was cyan blue, like a dark cyan, so it's not. Okay, now on to the neutral tones. We've got Cool Grey 1, which is CG1, Cool Grey 2, CG2, Cool Grey 3, CG3, Cool Grey 4, CG4, Cool Grey 5, CG5, and Black, which is XB. And they're my Electroset Pro markers, and I can say from experience, these are amazing at blending. Let's see if I can put these back in the order I wanted them in. So muted tones, rich tones, vibrant tones, mid tones, pastel tones, skin tones 2, and skin tone 1. Now they're in order. And we'll move on to my Spectrum Noir pencil markers now. First of all, I'm going to go through my, depends on which colours these are, I need to label them. My cool colours. So I've got all of them. And in order, these are DG4, CG1, JG6, BT7, BT9, DG3, EB1, BT5, IG10, TB3, TB1, Blender, IG1, TB6, IG6, DG2, BGR1, TB2, BGR3, True Black, BT4, LV1, BT1, CG2, BT2, IG4, BT4, TB9, PL2, TB5, PL5, IG2, IG6, IG8, EB7, LV3, PL4, PP5, and LV2. I hope to do I got to set all them right. So they were the cool colours, and I'll just show you with one of the colours now. I think I'll show you with the True Black, because I barely use it, so there's no chance of it drying out. What these markers look like. I will go back and do the Pro markers, I just realised I didn't do them. So with the Pro markers, we have a bullet tip and a chisel tip. Lots of people complain about the bullet tip, saying they can't work with it, but honestly, I can't work with the brush. Not as well, anyway. It's probably because I've never worked with brush pens before properly. But honestly, I prefer the bullet tip because they're the ones I learnt with, and honestly, I don't think the tip matters as long as the colours work right. So they're all my cool tones. There is some pinks in there, but they went with the purples, so I put them in with the purples. That makes sense. This is back when I didn't have many. This is back when I didn't need the stand full. So they're all my cool colours. And next we have all my warm colours. There we go. So we have GB10, EB8, CT4, GB8, GB5, DR6, CT1, OR1, TN1, CR8, CR11, I think it's EB2, FS6, BG1, FS2, BG6, BG2, CT2, BP6, PL1, DR5, FS3, EB5, PP1, BG10, BG4, CR10, TN8, PP3, TN7, BP2, DR1, BG8, DR3, CT3. There's a lot of DRs in there I use. There's the dark reds, like DR6, DR5, and DR3 are the ones I use the most. I use DR7 on occasion, but only when I need severe darks. Now we'll move on to these ones, which are my Spectrum Noir Brights. And they are the colours, as you can see, which are BP7, GJ1, IB3, DR2, PP6, GB6, OR2, LG5, OR3, DR4, BT6, BT3, CR9, GB7, BP4, CG3, GT3, GT2, BT8, FL2, FL1, BP5, GJ or JG2, CR7, BT6, why does that sound like a broadband network, and OR3, which are all my brights. I barely use these. I do use them on occasion, but barely. I won't show you these ones because basically they're exactly the same as the ones I have on my stand, but these are my darks. I had to get two sets because it was a 3-for-1 deal. So I got two sets of darks because I thought they'd be the most likely to be used. I should have went for the lights, really. But we got two spare blenders, because I got them with blending fluid, which is in the cupboard. I didn't get that out. And we've got, I'm just going to show you, as you can see. There they are. They are all my Spectrum Noir pens. About 72 of them, I think. They are all the extras I have that I had to get the stand for. Okay, so hopefully you can still see me perfectly fine. Oh, sorry. So the colours we've got are PP2, LY3, BT3, LG2, FS4, FS5, FS8, FS9. The FS's are my flesh tones. GB2, HB3, LG1, BGR2, FS1, HB1, IB1, LY1, FS7, DJ or DG1, HB2, CR3, IG3, LY2, GT1, TN1. All of them that I've just set out are my pastel tones. Basically the 2 rows at the top are pastel tones, the 2 rows in the middle are my lights, and the 2 rows at the bottom are my darks. Now we're on to the darks. we're on to the lights. CR1, IB2, BG3, TN5, CR5, LG3, CG2, TN4, BG5, GG1, which is green-grey. There's a problem with my green-greys, they leaked, so all the packaging on them is sticky, so I have to be very careful when I use them, and I refuse to throw them out until they don't work anymore. CR2, CG4, CR6, PP4, FL3, GB3, TB4, CR4, GB1, TN3, IG5, GB4, LG4, that's a fawn, I'm certain, BP1, and now we're on to the darks, which is EB3, TB8, Green-Grey 5, GG5, JG7, BG7, TB7, which is basically royal blue, EB6, TN9, GB11, still saying? Yep. Was I in GB11? Where's GB11? Alright. JG5, BGR4, JB9, JJ3, or GG3, GG, IG9, JG4, JG3, EB4, TN6, GG4, IG7, BG9, BGR5, DR7 and PL3, and they're all of my markers. Now I'm going to explain why I prefer the Pro markers to well actually no, I'm going to say I love both markers, so it doesn't matter which types. I would recommend the Pro markers over the Spectrum Noir markers, but they both have their pros and cons. The pros with the Pro marker are, they are less expensive. They are replaceable one by one, and they are cheaper. And you get a bullet tip, which is way thinner than the blender tip. Hang on, let me show you. I hate doing this though. It's much thinner than the bullet tip on my Spectrum Noir marker. And the reason why I prefer it like that is because I'm really good with, I like finer details. But it bleeds very, very slightly to the point where it isn't even noticeable. I think the bleeding is actually to help it blend, so that doesn't matter. Actually, I don't even know if it bleeds. I don't know whether it's just my imagination or not really. You might have to watch one of my older videos to see, because I use them quite a lot and you might be able to tell then. But I'm probably not used to working with markers as much because I only ever use them once a month out of fear of wasting them or using too much of them. So yeah. They might bleed, they might not. That's not really a pro or a con because I can't tell, but I think the bleeding, if it does bleed, is just to help it blend, and it never goes past the lines. It seems to have like a stopper when it comes to the lines. It's weird. And the Pro marker has a chisel tip as well, which is quite good actually. It's got like a pointed end, so well, not a pointed end, but like a slanted end, so you can like use the corner of it as well. So if you need ever need even finer lines, you can always use the corner of the chisel tip. But the Pro marker is really good because it has this little stopper that stops it from falling off the desk. They are easier to experiment with colour with because of the fact is there's less of them, so you have less colours, less problem, less expensive. And they come in these nice little packs where you keep them, and they're easily storable. And people say the Pro marker isn't that good, but I actually really like them. Compared to Copics. But I've never actually used the Copic, so... Alright, so that's that. Now for the cons of a Pro marker. They're not refillable. That's one con that everyone seems to notice, and I will agree with it. But to be honest, I don't have the place to store refills, so probably better for me anyway. So it depends on your situation. If you, like me, have a small room and have no place to store your, like, refills, then these are perfect for you because they can just be replaced. Probably more expensive in the long run because they can't be refilled, but honestly, these are really good. I haven't seen very vibrant colours like this before. They are very, very good. And another negative is the skin tones. Some of them are too light. I understand pale, but to the point where you barely see them on the paper. And I understand that's what some people like because it blends them better, but I am not them people. So some of the colours are too light, some of them are too dark. It's hard to find the right ones to blend together, which is why I have so many sets. But other than that, these are amazing for work. And if you look at any YouTuber who uses Pro Markers, any professional artist who uses Pro Markers, you can tell these are good quality pens. And the blend is really good as well. So that's the pros and the cons of the Pro Marker. Now for the pros and the cons of the Spectrum Noir marker. The pro of the Spectrum Noir marker is its shape. It's got a hexagon-like barrel, so when it doesn't roll off the desk at all. It's just, you can't see it, but it just literally just stopped. I'm the only reason it turns. And another pro is the size of it. The amount of ink in this must be quite a lot compared to the Pro Marker, because it's a little bigger than the Pro Marker. I actually thought it was much bigger, so I think I'm wrong. It's just a little bit bigger than the Pro Marker, so it might have about the same amount of ink, if I'm honest. I'm not sure, but it's another thing. But it has like a rubber barrel here as well, where you can put your hands and you don't slip, and it's really good for that. And a little band that tells you where the bullet tip is, which the Pro Marker has technically, because it has a curved edge for the barrel and then a square edge for the bullet, like not the barrel, the bullet tip, and then a square, like a circular edge for the chisel. But the Spectrum Noir is good. The words are very clear, though I think they're just printed on. It is very airtight, and you just got to be careful, because I think I got a faulty batch with the darks, because some of my darks have leaked, and it's only the darks that have leaked, just a few of them. And I think it's either the plastic melting or they're leaking, but there's this black fluid all over the barrel, and it's not the colour of the actual ink, so I'm worried in case it's actually plastic and something's like melted, or maybe they found it with an ink reservoir or something like that. But I think I got a dodgy batch, and that one laying on their side is really dangerous for them, but then I wouldn't understand why they have these side cases for them, so it doesn't make sense to me. These are actually the case is actually from Spectrum Noir, and I've had to tape it together because it kept falling apart. Okay, so another con to Spectrum Noir markers, a pro to Spectrum Noir markers is they're very good at blending. You get a lot of variety of colour. Very good in the long run because they are refillable. Though again, probably a con for me as well because I don't have anywhere to put refills. I have the blending fluid refill and that's it. That's all I can fit in my room. And I don't even know how to refill a marker, so luckily I haven't needed to yet. Now, for the cons. Oh, and another pro is the words are really easy to understand, and you can actually print off a chart with every colour on, which is what I've got. And now for the cons. A con would be they don't have anywhere to store them. You get these little packs when you first get them, but because you've got to rip the cardboard off, there's no point in them really. So you've got to buy separate individual packaging. You can either get these or them, or that drawer thing I've set up where you've got to tape it together, which is another con because they should come like where they build and snap together and they stay like that, because who wants like shifty boxes? I'm serious. That's what they did. You can literally take the top off and then there's the other one and the other one. I don't like that. I'm very picky about this, but I'd prefer it if it was a sturdy stand, so that way I have no chance of losing or dropping or breaking any of my markers. Another con would be their price. Pro markers on their own probably cost about the same as a Spectrum Noir marker, but with Pro markers you can buy them individually. With the Spectrum Noir marker you have to buy all 6 in a £6 packaging thing, unless you get what I did and you got the big 24 sets, which cost quite a bit of money. In general, for all the colours, because there are more colours, it's way more expensive, and because you don't get all the colours in certain packs, you need the extra colours. So with that, Spectrum Noir isn't the best because the blending won't be very good unless you buy every marker, which is my only problem, which is why I like the Pro markers, because if you're careful enough, you can blend any of the colours together. Hell, I've somehow used the the very light lilac-y colour and turned one of my purples into a blue, just by using that very light lilac, and that was really, really good. That means you can get such a variety of colour. And the Spectrum Noir markers come in a variety of different colours. which is really good, but honestly, the price is a bit steep. I had to pay 200 quid for all these over a long period of time, and I'm scared to use them sometimes in case they run out, because you can't buy them individually. You have to buy them in the packs of 6 or packs of 24. So unless you're in America, because the Americans are very lucky, you can't buy them individually. Unless America's site, if anybody knows the Spectrum Raw Markers, would you please be able to tell me if they deliver to the UK, the American version of the site? Because in the British version you can't get them separately, but in the American version you can, which would really, really help. And I have to know the shipping cost as well, if anybody has that. So if you have any information on that, I wouldn't mind hearing about it. In my opinion, both marker brands are as amazing as each other. Both have cons, both have pros, both work excellently. It's just your choice on what you use. If I were you though, I'd use a very decent ink. I have yet to try the Copic multi-liners with these, so I don't know if they work with them. I really think they would, because Copics are the best brand in multi-liners apparently. And if you haven't got anything else, use Delete a number 6 ink, because that's what I use. And though it can bleed if not left long enough, I tend to leave it for 2 days now, because I was getting that sick of it. It still bleeds a little bit, but I think it's because of my method. I use way too much ink. But I don't want to change my method, so if I have to cope with a bit of bleeding, I'll cope with a bit of bleeding. So, not bleeding, smearing. That's about everything I have on the markers. They took forever to get out of this freaking cupboard, so I've got to put them all back now. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I thank you all for watching, and bye-bye. I hope it was helpful to you.